I was tired of being underpaid and overworked at the same time. Then when we were fasting and praying on Wednesday, it looked as if nothing is happening. It looked as if like God is not hearing us. But looking back, God was actually working behind the scenes, because how did I get the job that I'm not qualified for? Hey guys, welcome to Life in Abundance, and my name is Carol Godi. So guys, today I just decided I want to share a short story about my career, or in my career rather. I think this was in the beginning of my career. So it's a short story slash testimony, right? So let's get to it. For those of you who don't know, I did a BTech degree in Finance and Accounting Public, right? Started obtaining my diploma in the same field, accounting, finance and accounting, right? Public. And later on, the plan was I'm just going to do a diploma, then later on and go and do my degree with UNISA, University of South Africa, because I wanted a BCom degree from university, not University of Technology, right? Later on, after my diploma, I then decided to let me just do my degree with the same institution, of which it was Tshwane University of Technology. After that, I wanted to go the CA route, right? I think early in my career when I started working, this was after my internship, because I did my internship while I was doing my degree, right? After that, I was fortunate enough to get a job, right? So I got the job with this company, and I think by that time I could tell that I don't want to go the CA route anymore, even though I had now started to study with UNISA. I had already registered the BCom in financial accounting, and they credited me for most of the subjects that I did, because most of them, they were the same subject, right? Because it was accounting. I think I registered because of pressure, peer pressure, let me say it, because the people in my group where I was working, they were also studying. Everyone was just busy just studying, and I was like, let me just also register, even though by then I knew that I don't want to go the CA route anymore, because one, I felt like it's gonna take me a long time to get my certification, and like the route, it seemed endless for me, and it's not something that I was looking forward to anymore. So fast forward, didn't finish my BCom degree with UNISA, right? Of which it's still open even now. And in that company, most of us were young people, were youngsters, freshers from a varsity, right? And it was a good company, a small black-owned company when I got there. And when I started experiencing now fully the corporate life, I was like, I don't think this is for me, but let me just chill and see where does it lead me, where does it take me, right? And I did that 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. I think I was there for like 3 to 4 years, because in the year that I resigned, I was number one, I was just tired of the company, and I was tired of being underpaid and overworked at the same time. So I think most of you know the story, but in the testimony that I'm going to is that before I left the company, right, I had friends, right? And we met there and we became really like close friends. It was the three of us. Well, I was from the other group of friends, then I joined this other group of friends, right? And in this new group, it was the three of us. And I think all of us were just tired of being there. We're just being tired of feeling stuck, and we'll see that there's no like a career path in that company, but we still stayed there. So most of the time you apply, and even though you're applying, and it's difficult to apply while you're still in another full-time job, right? Because sometimes you get discouraged of not getting like a positive response from the applications. Sometimes you go for interview. Sometimes you can't attend interviews as well because you have a full-time job, right? So I remember we used to talk about it like almost like now and then that we must go out of here. We need to make a plan to go out of here. And when we're there, it seemed like it's an impossible thing, because when you are in a company or when you are in something, when you're stuck for a long time, you feel like there's no way out of it, right? And I remember then there was this other lady was in the same department as us, but she was an intern. We're not really close with that lady. My group of friends was not really close to that lady. So for some awkward reasons, this lady one day, she approaches us like, you guys, I've been seeing you applying, and I've been hearing you that you're looking for something new and all that. Why don't you guys do a prayer every week and like fast and pray for the jobs that you desire? And at that time it didn't like seem so strange and awkward until like after some time when we were out of there. So the funny part is, this lady, we are not even used to her, and I don't know really, I'm not sure what was her religion, but she must have been observing that we are Christians, we are born again, and we have this faith thingy going around our group, right? And I don't know what convinced us. We didn't even need to be convinced about that. We just like, oh, okay, I think that is a good idea, right? And we took it and we started doing it. We did that like for a few months. I can't recall specifically how many months, but it was a few months. And every morning we were fasting on Wednesdays. Every Wednesday we'll fast. And every morning when we get to work, we'll just go to the boardroom. The three of us go there, hold hands. I remember vividly, hold hands, pray, and fast for the rest of the day. And we did that. Nothing was happening really. We're not getting any job offers. We're not getting any calls of job offers. And we continued that until I resigned from the job. And even then, I didn't even have a job. I didn't even have a plan, right? And fast forward, after I've resigned from the job, February, March, April, May, June. Yes, June. June, that's when then I got an offer from this big mining company, right? And they said I must send my documents and all that. I was communicating with an agent at this time, right? I was happy because as much as we were being overworked to that side, I felt like most of the things that we're doing, they were not aligned to what we have studied for, right? And this was now really something that I have studied for. This was now really focused on money, focused on accounting. So I was really excited. They took a whole month to get back to me with the job offer, even though I knew that they're coming back to me with the job offer because I went for an interview and they said my interview was successful. Then they took the whole month to reply or to come back to me with the job offer. And I started doubting, like, is it gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? And sometimes when you are in a job hunting process, you go for interviews, and if they tell you obviously that your interview was successful, you stop applying. So in that month, I had stopped applying, and really I was feeling demotivated because now these people are not coming back to me. They get back to me with the offer, and I was not happy with the offer. I negotiated. It's like, no. And mind you, I was underpaid where I was coming from, right? But I think I had learned a lesson, because after that, I had told myself that I'm not going to settle for less any longer in my career. If I see that it's not what I'm deserving, I'm going to negotiate. So I negotiated, of which, guys, it's something that we must do because we have nothing to lose to negotiate your salary offer, right? And I negotiated, and they agreed. They're like, okay, we can add so much. And I was happy, and I got the job. So when I got there, this is the testimony. When I got there, I remember the first week it was like just an induction. I met with the manager to show me the office, show me around, because we were still working from home by then, 2021 June, right? And a few days after, I go back to the office and I meet with my other colleagues there. And they obviously, we get to know each other, asking, so where you from, where did you study, what did you study? And I tell them that I studied this degree, BTech degree in TUT, and they like, I think it was two of them, the other one was a supervisor. It's like, oh, okay. The entire time that I've been here, I've never had that they've hired someone from TUT and with that degree. And really, it's our first time hearing that. I'm like, oh, okay. And there are other people that are hired as well in my group. I think we're like 5. And they are not also like from that. They are from, I think they were from UJ, from, it was not, the point is, it was not University of Technologies, right? And I thought back to myself, I'm like, wow, so I got this job. I'm well paid, right? I don't even qualify for this job if we are to like be blunt. I don't qualify because if the company has maybe policies that they are only hiring people from this institution, it's sort of like a taboo thingy that I'm from that institution and I'm here. And I was like, God, really, you're able to qualify the unqualified, because as it stands, I'm not qualifying to be here. And yeah, that is actually my short story and testimony. And with this, I want to say to you that sometimes you pray, and it seems like nothing is happening. There's nothing, like you are not seeing any results of your prayer. You wake up at 12 or at 1 a.m., you pray, you declare things in your life, and time goes by, you don't see any results in your life. But that doesn't mean that things are not happening in the spiritual realm. That doesn't mean that the heavens are not looking. That doesn't mean that God is not hearing you. You understand? And I was telling my husband recently, we're praying for a certain thing. I'm like, now that we are from this prayer, let's not expect instant results from the prayer, right? We have prayed about things, about this. Let's believe that it's done. It has happened, right? What we can do for ourselves is to stay with the hope that things have been settled in the spiritual realm. In the spirit, things have been done. We might not see it in the natural as yet, but it doesn't mean that nothing has changed, nothing has shifted, right? And I told him about this specific story that, once upon a time, we're at this company, remember who and who and who, and we were praying about jobs. And fast forward, after I got the job offer in that big mining company, my other friend resigned, right? My other friend resigned from that previous company. And not so long, she says she got a job offer from one of the big 4 accounting companies. And I'm like, what? So we celebrated, we were happy about that. And the other friend, the third friend, before I resigned, she also got a job offer with a nice salary offer. And I remember she was telling us that how happy she is, that the work is a lot, but she was happy to be there in a new environment. And when I was looking back at this, when I was telling my husband not so long, I'm like, by then when we were fasting and praying on Wednesday, it looked as if nothing is happening. It looked as if like God is not hearing us. But looking back, God was actually working behind the scenes, because how did I get the job that I'm not qualified for? How did the funny story again, my other friend who got the job in one of the big 4 companies, she said she doesn't even remember applying for the job. You understand? So what the seed that we have planted years ago, it was now yielding results now. You understand? So I'm trying to say to you that I hope you get my point, that most of the time we pray, we put our energy to prayer, we put our energy to fasting, we put our energy to be focused on reading the word, and time goes by, sometimes weeks, months, sometimes years, and you don't feel like there's nothing that has been happened, nothing that has changed for something that you've been praying for. And it doesn't mean that God has not heard your praise. he says he's a God who sees, who hears, and who responds to us. You understand? He does respond to us. And I want to get to the next point of consistency. Recently, I've read, I think it's Stevens, the host of a Diary of a CEO, right? He was sharing 33 lessons that he had learned up to so far. So in one of the lessons, he said that most of the time, it's not the most talented person that will win, but it's the person that is consistent. I think this, I'm speaking to myself as well, that in most of the things that we try and initiate and start, we don't get successful in them because we leave them hanging. And we'll never know which day is God gonna pick for us to say that, okay, this day you've been consistent. I've seen you, my faithful servant. You've been praying, and now it's the time to answer. But if you leave the prayer in the middle, you'll never know, you'll never get to experience the glory that is on the other side. You understand? And honestly, with myself, we are people, we are humans. You know, we make mistakes. Sometimes it's too difficult to be consistent in prayer. Sometimes you pray and backslide again. I think I'm at the season where I'm understanding that God wants us to be intentional with Him. He wants us to seek Him, not for the things that He provides for us, but for the things that we get to experience. Like the word says, we can never experience His presence and remain the same. Sometimes we don't need things that are material from Him. Sometimes we don't need to see material things that are coming from Him, but we just need to be touched by His presence. We just need to be in His midst. You understand? And you will never know the things that are changing in the spirit by you being in His presence. Yeah, guys, I think I've been talking a lot. That is just my short story that I wanted to share with you. And then lastly, I want to share with you the word I came upon this week, Matthew 7:7. So the verse goes like this: continue to ask, you will receive. Continue to seek, you will find. Continue to knock, the door will be open for you. So the word encourages us that it shouldn't be a once-off thing of asking from the Lord the things that we desire. It shouldn't be a one-week thing. It shouldn't be once a week, once a month. It should be like a consistent thing that we continue to do. And I believe that if we do that, at the end of the day, we'll see our result. We'll see the results that we desire. We'll see what we ask God to do in our lives, right? Thank you so much for listening to this story, and I hope it encourages you some way, somehow, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.